And hello, everyone. I'm Dan Lutz, and I'm here with my co-host, Tank.
Tank?
Oh, sorry. I stepped on it.
Okay.
Yeah, so how's it going, Tank?
Well, it's pretty exciting, to say the least. Watching things unfold. I'm not sure
Did you get a good
what
night's
everything
sleep?
means just yet. What's that?
You get a good night's sleep?
Kind of. Yeah, I did. As much as I do, yeah. Slept pretty well.
Yeah, I think you got you fell back in time, so you were an hour earlier than me yesterday.
Yeah, a little bit crazy, right?
Yeah.
Just trying to siphon all that stuff together and figure out what's what. Guess I had a couple. This past couple days has been a little crazy, but I've been anxiously and hopefully anticipating good news from Ken, to be honest, and it has not come yet, unfortunately.
Oh, I've got good news from Kim.
Yeah, I know we do have good news from Ken. I mean, she's supposed to.
Well, no, the good news is she appeared with Tommy on another broadcast.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Yeah.
It's a. I was kind of listening to it earlier. It was on. What was it? Trying to get to that channel. 1 second. Sorry.
Like you said, Tommy said basically.
That's her talking, but it's on Tommy Williams' channel, but it's number 46 show, Circle of the White Light Radio. So it was from yesterday. It was posted, or today, however you want to look at the time zones, on the 9th. So she starts in. It's about 2.5 hours long. She comes in at an hour and 5 minutes. So then she goes on for there. So it's a lot of good conversation. The first question is, what is the quantum financial system, right? So she kind of goes in and gives some, paints the picture. And I think the more you hear about how it comes together, when you have different stories about it, helps to round it out for people to kind of get a grip on it.
Yeah. That's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good news. It's not the good news I think you're looking for. But
it's not the exact good news I'm looking for now. It's I mean, like we talked about, Kim, she put transfers through, like in the afternoon on a Thursday, and then they said that they needed 2 days for any international trade that comes in or any international transfer that comes in. So they had guaranteed her that Monday they would credit the account, and then I got reports from other sources as well, including your sources, that also that they all are saying that money will come through this week. But at the same time, I also got reports from several different of my folks following the RV who tell me the RV is this week. They're all saying it's going to happen this week. So either the Rothschild syndicate, Rothschild, Black Sun, groups there, the factions, they're either trying to scoop in and take credit for something Kim's doing, or they think, as they often do, that they'll somehow take over, Kim, and they'll pull it off and take the money from her. Kim did tell me that there was an emergency meeting of the order this weekend, right? Because they finally realized that there's absolutely no way she's going to relinquish power to them, right? And all they want is power. They want the power from, they want to have control of the trust, and she will not give it to them. So, because they're finally starting to catch on to that, she's not going to let, I guess they thought they'd go back to the drawing board, but when they go back to the drawing board, it's like watching someone play hangman, and they just keep on guessing the letter L, no matter how many times. They just go back to they gather up, they say, is there an L? Nope, there's no L. Go back, okay, 1 minute. hey guys, I think L.
Yeah,
And they come back and is there an L? Like, that's them. Over and over again. So,
They keep guessing
apparently-
wrong, right? So
they keep saying the same, they keep doing the exact same thing at that point, just over and over again, they come back out with the exact same, like, we'll lie and try to pretend that we did something, and then we'll try to steal it and leverage the assets. It's like, da 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 da. It's like the same bad guy over and over again, like Rocky and Bullwinkle's. Time to railroad tracks.
Yeah.
They'll never get out of that.
what was the bad guy's name in Rocky and Bullwinkle?
I want to say like guys.
Was it Boris? Boris and Natasha.
Boris, yeah. Boris and Natasha. Right?
Yeah. Oh, then there was Dick Dastardly was in the one with the big mustaches, and he was in the Canadian Mounted Police hero guy was it Dudley Do-Right. Dudley Do-Right.
Here I come to save the day.
No, that's me. That's who is that? That's
Mighty Mouse?
Mighty
Mighty
Mouse.
Mouse?
Mighty Mouse. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say. I was just thinking Mickey Mouse when I said it in my head, but no, Mighty Mouse. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Dudley Do Right. That's a good one. Funny old cartoon. Yeah, just programming all the time. Over again.
I love that programming.
I mean, Mighty Mouse is awesome.
Yeah, Mighty Mouse was awesome. Did you ever remember Kimba the White Lion?
Kimba the White Lion. Oh, I mean, it sounds familiar, but no.
Yeah, it's one of those things. We've got a few years between me and you, but I think it's like the one I was really locked on when I was a real young kid. Like, but I never saw it. My kids never saw it. It kind of like disappeared. It's like it never came back into like syndication or anything. But I remember that one. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I like some of those older cartoons like Johnny Quest.
Oh,
anyways,
yeah. Those were good.
Yeah.
We digress.
We digress. Right. Just Geek Squad all of a sudden, yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So, big talk about the massive drop of the oil markets today, right?
Right. It's on its way down to $20 a barrel, $25 a barrel.
No, it'll stay. I mean, I believe it'll stabilize at $27.
Yeah.
Kim told me this a year ago. She said basically it costs about, it costs like Iraq, Iran, all these different oil producing countries, right? It costs them about $24 after everything, by the time it comes out. And everything over that basically is the Rothschilds adding, money or cost based on, there's a tornado in Vietnam, there's a hurricane in Jamaica, oil has to rise, right? Things like that. And so basically oil futures, it's based on, $50+ a barrel. So because that's the case,
there's no future for futures.
Yeah, there's no future for futures. They're losing money. But not only that, but they're also, they don't have money to buy it back.
Well,
so it's part
of this inflating of this bubble, right? They need to keep inflating it. So when they're not able to do that for some reason, like oil prices staying low, that extra money's not in there for them to push around, right? That's a big chunk. 2/3 of it suddenly is gone out of the energy market, which is one of the biggest sectors out of the economy. And they can't push that. They can't push that around. All right, so the way they keep it inflated is by moving things quickly around and around from company to company to company. If they could do it several times in a day, they do it. But I think that they can only do it once a day.
I think they're really, all of that is just getting shut down.
Sure.
I think they're taking that power away from them.
Yeah, they don't.
So
Since
they can't do it.
One of the things that on this new Kim interview that was on here, she was talking about that they lost control in 2008. That they were cut out of the trust, and ever since then, all they've been able to do was move money from one business to another, to another, to another, to another, to another, to another, and this is what and it's in their own businesses, right? So it looks like their businesses are all making money, right? But it's not based on anything real. It's just
right, because they're not producing anything. They're not creating anything new. They're not allowing anything to come out. Yeah.
even when money was created from the allocation numbers originally, right? The money would come in, and then it would go out into circulation, and they would track it by that serial number, which goes back to the allocation. And so when that particular money had done around through the banks a number of times, they pull it out. So okay, it's done, it's gone, right? There was the asset from which it was based upon is still there. It's just that it did a turn, right? A couple of turns. I forget what it was. How many times that was? 10 times, 15 times around through the banks, and then it got pulled. So that way, it's there. But now they take even the old allocations, right? That's what we call the super notes, right? Mm-hmm. That were run through before the banks, and they say, well, we're just going to put them back in, pull them off the back bench, All right, guys, you're up. Get in there and inflate the economy.
Yeah, blow it up, make us some money,
Yeah. So, it's not legitimate, according to the system, right? But they were cut out. So all of this they've been doing for the last dozen years is losing their steam of power, right? But it's all been around the edges until right now it's seeping into their main core structure. So I was told by my friend in England in the banking world, he says, the Rothschilds, they're not what they used to be, and he gives excuses, their excuses, right? And it's saying that, well, it's the younger generation just doesn't want to do what the old generation was doing, right? They're off doing other things. They have no interest in banking. It's kind of like that's the spin.
All right, they're just lazy new generation. They don't want to traffic and deal with pedophilia like we used to. Yeah, that's kind of
yeah. Well,
it's interesting, because the CEOs that are quote unquote stepping down, they're actually being fired because of child pornography, or not pornography, but child pedophilia. They're being systematically eliminated.
Yeah.
So they're saying it like, oh yeah, they're stepping down. Just coincidentally, they all decided no, they're not. They're getting videos of themselves doing horrible things to children, and so is everyone else in their company, right?
Time to get out of there. Yeah. So it's like when Weinstein was sentenced to jail. What happened the very next day? 6 top CEOs around the world just decided to step down.
Coincidentally, right?
Yeah.
Coincidentally, they also done.
No synchronicities. It's just the only real coincidence that ever actually really happened was that.
Yeah, no big deal. Yeah. So that's all going on, and then they continue to save face, right? But it's interesting. Tommy was talking about this today. He did like a report kind of update with the intel, and Kim said to me like it's ridiculous. Like like just today, she was like these people will just they don't care. It seems like, right? It's like everyone just thinks it's a game, right? But you got to think this is at the cost of the people's lives, right? So you have a real threat in this sense, right? If someone wasn't doing anything. Now, Kim's already put all these things in place that this doesn't have to happen, right? But basically, you have this option on the table that if you continue to allow these groups to control and rule everything, right? Then you're going to collapse the U.S. economy and starve people to death, right? And you're going to have mutiny on a massive level. You're going to have them take over, right? And it's like that's what's Tommy compared it to the Russian Revolution or something like that in 1919, right? It's like
The
At some point,
Bolshevik,
it's like,
the
yeah,
Bolshevik
the Bolshevik
Revolution.
Revolution. So it's like, so you have a real threat, right? Now, I don't, I don't see how that could happen. I think what you said about Pence is pretty important. What he mentioned. You said all the bankers are coming in.
Yeah, in a news conference today, Pence basically mentioned that in their action plans for the coronavirus, this is the reason why they're coming. That all the bank heads of all the major banks are coming to the White House now. Like I don't know if it's like tomorrow or the next day, but it's like very soon they're having this meeting. There's all this action plan that's about the coronavirus. Well, I would think that they might be in there to talk about some other things related to other monies coming through, and for them not to stand in the way. I'm just guessing, but
Oh yeah, I would say that basically it's like you are either going to clear these funds, or we are going to release every video of you to your family directly as we arrest you. Like you'll be the next CEO to step down.
yeah.
Because at some point you have to have something, someone actually take action. They have to be made aware that they are not winning.
Well,
right? And they're probably very misinformed.
Yeah,
right?
Also, they're also very used to being blackmailed, so they should know the game.
Yeah, I think so. You think they'll catch on quick. That's all.
Yeah, it's like you're used to being
blackmail.
blackmailed.
Well, we're very familiar with this. Yes, we'll do whatever you like, as you know, because it's pretty much what they do, right?
Yeah. So just don't tell anybody. No, we're going to tell them, but this is just you got to do this to stop it from happening this week.
There is nobody more mercenary than bankers, right? There's nobody. No, and they realize, look, there's no future in you holding out. You will not make money. You will not win. Because the coronavirus it's a fabricated ruse to,
Make
create
money.
Scare and close the economy. It's nonsense.
Yeah. So one of the things that Pence was and actually Trump himself said that the infection rate is going to be way below 1%. Right. So it's basically the flu. It's actually right now, as numbers go, we lose in America. He's speaking. 80,000 people die every year from the flu. Right?
Wow.
80,000 people. So, if you want to compare, you can compare that. But that's really not going to be, showing that it's actually been very, a horrible rate of fatality, right? It might be, like 0.1%. It may spread faster than the normal flu, but its death rate is much lower. So
right.
All of this is a scare, and I think the media should be held responsible for all of the panic and all the businesses that shut down and all the problems that have come about it. That they should be able to be sued, because what they do is they're cherry picking information. So the World Health Organization says, oh, the infectious the fatality rate is 3.4%, right? And the rest of the statement, right, the very next line, or even like half line, right, as they broke the sentence up, is, but we know that when all the numbers come in, that number is going to drop down, way down. But the media leaves that rest of that off, right? And they're creating more panic, right? And so if there's anything that happens, that comes out of this, they should be held responsible, right? For this extra, this purposeful hype. The businesses collapse, they should be held responsible because they're getting people not to go out, not to go to businesses. Businesses fail because people are not going to those businesses.
Anthony Sabella was up in I'm not sure he was in Albany where he was, but basically he went in on some people from I think Newsday, New York Newsday here, went in on them. He said, "You are fake news," and he was going at it with them. I recorded the whole thing too. I'm actually going to ask him if I can put it out, but he's going after him saying, "Look, you're responsible for this. Report the truth." He goes, "Let it disgust you and actually report the truth."
Why don't you show us the deaths? Show us actually who's dying. Show their faces, or give their profiles. The average age of someone dying, 80. That's the average age of the people dying from the coronavirus, 80 years old. That means the people that are, 90 years old they're also dying, and 70, but at less of a rate. Right? So if the average is 80, then it's a little bit less for the people that are 70 and 90, because maybe the people at 90 get they die from something else related to the coronavirus.
They're just getting it last year.
I don't mean to make light of it, but because people are literally dying, and it is some real flu virus that is nothing more than what we're used to having, but it doesn't call for the mass panic to reduce the economic level of the United States or the world, for that matter. This is affecting the whole world with these possibilities of death and destruction, right? So they're the ones that are creating this. They should be held responsible.
I agree. They definitely should be held responsible. It's it's not a small thing. It's like, at what point do we actually start putting things out there to say, look, this cannot happen anymore. You can't misreport on a pandemic and expect to get away with it, right? Because just because you're used to saying whatever the hell you want, no matter whether it's true or not, because you think you're part of some special CIA program to shape and sculpt the minds of the people, right?
Yeah, you can't scream fire in a crowded theater and cause panic and people die and not be held responsible.
Right.
Right.
I agree.
So this is there is going to be a lot. There's a lot of economic damage already from the media. Why don't we have a project, right, to help out all the businesses and give them the money that they're missing, just like Trump gave out of the tariffs, right? That he brought this extra money in. He said, "What did the farmers miss out on last year? Oh, they lost out on $16 billion. Okay, let's give them the $16 billion, so they're made whole." Same thing with every business that is run. Their business downturn right now. Yeah, why don't we make a project out of covering the costs of this, right? As kind of a gift through the bankers that are coming to visit Trump. Oh, maybe, my goodness, maybe that's what they're actually going to be doing there. Maybe Trump already is. Trump might be ahead of me on this. Anyway, it's an interesting project. I think it would be a good way to go to help alleviate. Oh, I didn't notice Tui is on.
Shui Loma Loma. Perfect. Bring the ruckus, man. What do you got?
Hey, Dylan.
Hey, Tank, buddy. Go ahead, Tank.
And Tank.
It's been so long you forgot Tank's name.
Very well, thank you. How are you guys?
We're fantastic. I'm dealing with a heat wave here. So I know the coronavirus is dead because it's hot now in the Philippines. Yesterday, the degrees got kicked up. We're like in the 90s, so coronavirus is no more.
Ah, I see. Well, first of all, I would like to just say that it's good to be here for another. I've been following the show for the past few days, and I finally got the time to actually just give an update on what's happening here and everything that exciting things that's happening in Fiji. And so today I was just free enough, and then I just connect us, and I was able to have a call, and I'm very thankful for the acceptance. And the things are moving really fast all over the planet. Things you never expect to happen is happening right now, and it's just waking up everyone, and it's a big lesson to humanity, so that we will finally realize that we are the most important thing on the planet. Without us, all these things, won't be able to. There will be no economy, no money, and all this, and that's what coronavirus is teaching everyone. Even though they're trying to evaluate everything through financial terms or economy, but ultimately the people, once we have fear, there is no love. There's nothing can run. Everything will be stuck. So it's always been the lesson that we've been talking about the past year. And big things are happening here in Fiji. Everyone is coming together, realizing this. The economy is going down, trade, and all this. And now even just the latest update right now, our budget went down another billion. So now we're only running on 2.3 billion. And that you understand what it means. We need about 5 to 6 billion to keep afloat. But since everything is just going down and down, it's going to force the people to work together and realize what's really happening. And today, I just want to tell everyone that's listening out there that we are almost getting to that time where we can sit together with all the chiefs around Fiji and set up work together with the king and come up with a pretty solution and use love, and especially to settle everything through humanity and through the to show and to teach everyone the importance of what it means to be a human being and what it means to have sovereignty. And I know we're getting closer to that point, and I'm doing everything that we're doing. We work together with the rest of the high chiefs. We're moving around Fiji right now. We're in the western side and getting everyone aware and realizing people essence within everyone. Because I see that this is the most important thing: the self-awareness. People realizing what they truly represent and who they are. Once the sovereignty can be returned, talking with the trust would be much, much easier. Get all the tribes around the Pacific and celebrate the return of the kingdom of heaven that is within us. And so, it's a very exciting time, and it's amazing that everything is happening together with the land or the animals. We will come to for example, we will be able to come to to reach out to a village, and everything is prepared. Like the land is prepared for the food and all this, and they never had that before, for a very long time. And things just fall into place the way it's supposed. And I tell them, it's just the way that the planet is showing us that the love and the unity of everything is working together to achieve this sovereignty. And all we need is we just have to realign the physical parts of ourselves. And I'm very, I'm very moved with the progress that we're having, and it's accelerating really, really fast. Right now, I just had a free time, so I was able to reach and call, just to let DANK know. Or if there's a way that in the future I will be able to get in contact with Kim, so we can work out how to actually recognize the the economic systems here, finance or the funds for an entire country, and we can learn and we can actually become the template for the change for every country around the planet. And we want to set up a bank. Now we've gone past 1,000 people getting their notification, and we're keeping it because we want to get everyone sovereign first, and that's the most important thing for people to be fully aware of themselves and understand their individual role in this great change, and how we can actually learn to love and work together with everything around us, with the environment, with everyone around us, and see that all the illusion of separation is just that, not real, and we get to the core of the reason why we're all united within us, and we're all sons and daughters of the living Creator that is within us. And so, people are waking up with from all the different belief systems here in the country. We have a few. We have the Hindus, we have the Muslims, we have the Christians, and we have all the different separation in the Christian, what you call the denominations.
Section.
Yes, section. And they're all coming together because they're now starting to realize that the illusions is, whatever they think they believe, and whatever they believe is what's separating them, and it's blocking them from the true love that they must have between one another and recognizing each other's sovereignty. And now that we're having this, when the money, because like I said, I've spoken to the PM, in last years, and telling him that there will come a time there will be no more, there won't be any more currency on the land. Once it happens, it will give us chance to actually work on our recognition of sovereignty, especially from people from tribe to tribe, from the different races that we might call a race that are here, and we can work together to get the sovereignty within us first before we work together with the external sovereignty which the trust represents. And we'll try and create a totally new system where where we can go get out from the old system. I would see that a lot of what you call the sovereign movement that are still trying to actually use the old system to get the sovereignty. I told the chiefs we won't be doing that anymore. We'll go with everything, with all the systems that were set up from for the bank. We'll create a new one, just by full disclosure. Let everyone know what has happened, and we can work together to create a new one, and work together with Kim to actually do that and become truly sovereign, and not relying on their laws and their rules. We'll reorganize everything. And the first thing is we're doing right now is working on ourselves and working on our sovereignty, personal sovereignty, really understanding the creative energy within us and the power that we have, and lightening that up and make sure that everyone has the same, come up to the same level. So everyone that, I call them everyone that is already on the sovereign status, they are waiting, and they're working hard to get everyone else that is a little bit behind in the understanding, in the awareness, in the love, and I told them, yeah, that's what it means to be sovereign. Once you understand who you are, you will want everyone to have the same level as what you have achieved, and you will work tirelessly to help your neighbors, to help your family, to help your relatives, to help your brothers that is a little bit lacking behind. And we're going to do that, especially the Native tribes here, because we are closely, like I said, it's much easier for us to do it because of we just have about 100 years or maybe 3 to 4 generations that were truly free, and now we're using this new system, and it will be so easy for us to get out of it and create a new one. And so I'm looking, I'm waiting right now. I'm I'm gathering all the high chiefs that have dominion in all the different provinces to be able to speak with them and come up with a new system where we can help the government transit from the old way of thinking to the new way of love and rest and unity, and that's and also that means we have to work on our financial and economic side of things. So I just wanna just give a heads up if Kim, especially to Tens, to let him know that we're working on that part of ourselves, because this is the most important thing. Before any fund is distributed or anything has to do, the spiritual sovereignty of the people must be the most important thing first. Otherwise, the funds will just be, it won't mean anything. It will just be a way of separation again. And so the chiefs, they fully understand this reason, and we're working with every little thing that we have, all the results that we have. We regenerating the spiritual energy within us, and talking, by discussing, by visiting, and by no more neglecting. We are encouraging everyone that they wanna be and wanna be sovereign, and we wanna talk about this with everyone in the land, and then we'll sit and get everyone, and like I said, create a totally new system. We might even come up with just a central bank where no more loans, people can benefit from it, and from everything they need, their house, the roads, and every development that they will just be able to do, because everyone is on the same wavelength of understanding, and seeing that we are the most important. The money is just a tool, and we'll make it a tool, and it's no longer once it has no, if you don't use it, it has no value, and no longer in the state of awareness, like in the old times where money is almost like it's almost like and people are enslaved by it, because they're taught to work so hard and to live.
Tui.
But no longer we use it and get the next step. And like I said, the most important thing is the spiritual preparation that we're doing right now.
Tui.
And so that's
Tui.
basically where we're up
Tui.
to right now. And yes, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead,
I thought maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm still muted. Sorry to break in. I just want to ask you a question because the prime minister has been looking for money around the world, right? So is he still traveling the globe looking for loans?
Yes.
Yeah. So is he having any luck? Is he having any success? Tui?
Yeah.
Hello? Tui? Oh, he's muted right now. You're muted, Tui. Oh. When Tui starts talking, it's hard to get in. You got
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I let him roll a little bit.
Yeah, no, I just because we start talking about the looking for money, and the money is not important. The Fiji, a tropical paradise, easy to grow food, right?
Sure.
So
yeah.
food, clothing, and shelter, right?
Right.
These are the basics. So they can all be provided. What else do you need beyond that, right? As a society. So the rest of the stuff that they need the money for is what? It's the corporatocracy stuff, right? That's out there, right? And but once you start borrowing, then how do you pay it back?
Right, if you don't have something working for you.
Yeah, and they do have water. So it's interesting that there's something going on with the water company, Fiji Water Company, and the let's say the cabal. people have been pointing it out, but don't know exactly what that is.
That's interesting. There's a problem with the water, like
Meaning that the company itself, Fiji Water, is being used for some nefarious purpose.
yeah, I'm sure. I mean, everything that should be healthy, they've been trying to ruin, right? Anything that could be good for people, their only hope would be to.
I think it has to do
they
with.
continue on.
I think it has to do with the Victoria's Secret crowd, trafficking, and that.
Oh,
Yeah.
of trafficking.
Well,
So that is
yeah,
going back to Fiji.
So don't know. It's just that it's the implication of all the puzzle pieces, right? It just kind of smells like that right now. So can't really, you know, point directly at it.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, probably not a stretch. I mean, all these different CEOs that are stepping down is because they're pedophiles, right? I mean, that's they say they're stepping down, but they're really being fired because they're being confronted with very damning evidence.
Right.
So instead of being allowed to use their company with their massive, inflated values because they contributed to allow the trafficking to go on, they're breaking it up. Or, which I'm not sure if that's Kim's people doing that or how. I'm sure it's a collective effort around the world, but if you're going to stop a monster that feeds on your children, you should probably take them out of positions of power where they're able to do it.
Yeah. So we see that there
I
are
don't think
things.
that's a stretch.
Yeah, I don't know. In Fiji, what else? What they need. They have. The government there is being run by from people from India that have migrated there, right? And Fiji, people have their tribal system. They own the land, and they have a government that's trying to sell off or take over pieces of land, and they keep pushing them back, right? And now they don't have any money. They're not paying people. Are they really representing the people of Fiji? No, the system is out of whack. Worldwide, but this is just one example where, like as I said, they've only had it for a few generations, right? Where they've had this creeping in.
It's all very fascinating. So it sounds like they're making progress there. And Tui, I will make sure to pass on what you said to Kim and let her know that you guys are gearing up. Sounds like good news to me. I don't know if I.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're having meetings with the people. They're bringing all their tribal leaders together, and they're making a move. Right, they control the military. The 72 chiefs control the military. So
yeah, and I think to the point of they're going to have the people's back, right? And I think when a government that is known for, not known for it, but I mean they're not afraid to have a coup and take over the government. You can see how that could be the model at the end of the day. Either the people take over or they get taken over again.
Yeah, well, they've done it a few times already. I said, okay, your government's getting too overbearing. Trying to step in places they're not supposed to, and they get pushed back. Well, it looks like it's time again.
And then, sorry, something came across.
Oh, okay. We didn't know what happened to you there, but it's okay. I was just asking you about the Prime Minister, since he's around looking for loans, and I said, did he have any success finding loans?
No. I think he couldn't find anything. All he could do was just create a lot of what can I say, advertisement, like marketing. He's just marketing the place, and just trying to get Fiji out there in the market and get investors and people to come here. But yeah, what we understand about the currency and the current agreement on the planet right now, and why Kim and the trust is and their role for this change as well. They won't be able to create a currency here in Fiji, and that's what we need. We no, and that's what the bank cannot give. They can't give allocation for countries because they can move. I mean, the funds, they can use credit and all this, but to be able to create a new currency, they can't do it. We can't do it anymore. So that's what we would, that's why I'm here talking with you and DANK, and basically, begin to prepare for a time when we would need, or when we would reach out to DANK and to Kim as well to try and work out a way where we can, we can set up a not just to sit and let the people here understand what has truly has been happening on the planet, and what this new agreement of peace and the treaty, what it means to everyone. And yeah, it's like one day I was discussing about how in the Bible, where the book of Revelation was talking about the banking system and how it's gonna dry up, and it's happening right now, and which is gonna set up a way to help people realize about the true essence of living created within, because they're so eluded on things outside of themselves. Now it gives them a trigger to actually change the way they think and look within, and not to look all outside of themselves. Yeah, so no money then. It's
So, while you were, off mic for a while, I was talking with Tank. I said, the Fiji, you have everything you need for food, water, shelter, clothing. So, what is it you need to borrow the money for?
That's the trick.
Yes, I know.
That's the reason why. That's why like I said, it's because of sovereignty. They don't have sovereignty.
Yeah.
People don't have sovereignty, and they can't think outside of the box.
Yeah.
And so that's what we've been discussing all this while. They can think outside of. We have everything we need, but we think we need something from outside. And then but we lack a lot within within each other, and they've been schools in the past, and now the kids are learning the lesson. They become sovereign, and through this awareness, they are able to actually construct a new way of governance, a new economic strategy, where everything is centered around humanity, around the people, and not around profit and like we have in a capitalist society, where everyone's a slave, and they have to work all their life for profit. And we're gonna change it. That's why we need to sit together with him and work on that for our country. And if we can do that here, we can do that anywhere on the planet. We can do it to the rest of the Pacific. We can do it to all the small countries that need to gain their sovereignty. And needs them, and we can work with them, teach the elders, the chiefs, to be able to be self-sovereign, and to be able to live in a sovereign state of awareness, or sovereign state of mind, where they're not dependent on anything from outside. And I know it's really, it's going to be a big change, but we are very excited here. We're very excited that we can actually create this change. Because, like I've said in the past, this has been part of our prophecy. Everything, the land has been kept in a trust. Our native funds have been kept in a trust and awaiting our sovereignty. And that's what we're working on right now. We are working physically, moving around the country and realigning everyone to the land, to the water, to the air, and to the sun, to the four elements. And realigning everyone with proper awareness and proper disclosure of all the financial system of the planet. and relying them to be able to, think outside and be self-aware and, and to realize that we can do it. We can create our new reality. We just need to help.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tui.
Faded out. He's
Sorry, there's
we come
another.
oh, you're back.
Sorry, there's another call always coming across,
Oh, yes.
and I just need the call. Yeah, so that's basically it right now. We're looking forward to speaking with Kim soon, once all the chiefs are able to, get that. Because this is the most important thing, the spiritual sovereignty of the other people, and the way they see themselves, and the way the self-awareness, understanding that they are the creator of this reality. Once we have all that, and the chiefs recognize this, there's no more fear. We'll take away all the fear and all the doubt, and we'll be able to sit and walk with the trust to see what she has in store for the country, and we can work together to get it to the rest of the Pacific. And if Fiji can be the place where everyone can learn from, and everyone can come here, we'll get the United Nations to come here to Fiji and get that sovereignty lesson to everyone. And so basically that's the plan.
So, Tui, what does that look like with the change as far as like the people in Fiji? I mean, like, what is it that you're seeing most? What is the most obvious change in behavior and conduct and mentality that you see? Like, how does it express itself? This kind of new awareness of sovereignty.
It's a really good question. We've been talking in the past, and I've already said that for us in Fiji, this is nothing new. It's just a few hundred years ago, we were living in this free state of society, where we don't need we don't need anyone, or we don't need economy. We didn't need all these structures to actually be, to be alive, to be surviving, or to be the main part of.
You didn't need to be told what to do the whole time.
Yes, we didn't need the economy. Well, the first time when the colonization happened, the first time they colonized Fiji, the high chief told everyone, every native Fijian, you are sovereign. You don't need to work for. You have your land. You don't need to work for anyone. You don't need to work in this plantation where they're trying to create economy from. You don't need to work in the sugarcane plantation. That's the reason why they tried to outsource the labor, and they went to different countries to get in it, because the people in Fiji fully understand that we don't need all this economy. It's what do you call it? It's a waste of everything. And so
I get it.
they were and so through manipulation, through education, and through the religious, they were able to introduce this value, and we were able to see, and it actually affected the people, and then ultimately, they were like, they took the Bible in, and they took everything, and then they started to train them in schools, and then the people started to change. And then basically within just 100 years, we were separated from the land. We are now in that state right now, and it's not a new thing. Like I said, it's an old way of life. We just we doing it in a very different way, because now we have all these advancements in technologies and all this, and we're just going to use all that the same way we used to do it before, and get everything free. But we have to transit slowly, because there's still a lot of people that were, the state of awareness were in this old paradigm of thinking. And now, if you want to change it, we have to transit that, and in a way that nobody is hurt. Everyone, sovereignty is respected, in individual sovereignty is respected. So a lot of social learning and process and learning that is happening right now, and everyone is very excited. And it's not a new concept. The fifth element, the mana, it's not a new thing for us. It's just, it's just exciting that we are going back to the way it was before.
Cool. Well, man, I'm encouraged just to hear your voice, dude. It's good. I'm glad you guys are doing well. And, as always, everything I can do in my power, I'm here to help. So I'll make sure to talk to Kim. And you guys are just about ready. Just about ready.
Thank you very much, thanks. We'll let you, we'll keep in contact because I think it's very important to follow through with all the process, and I will let you know every time there's a major event that's happening here. I will let you know that. Last few weeks, the president of Israel came to Fiji because of this as well. They knew that it's going to start here, and so we'll have to make that happen. We'll have to get all the leaders from all different countries to come to Fiji and get and sit and able to make an agreement with Kim come over, because I need everyone to understand the change. And like I said from the beginning, this is our role for the trust as a grantor. We'll have to create this environment. We'll get all the tribes from the other Pacific Islands, from New Zealand, from Australia. They're all waiting. And today is a very exciting day for everyone here, because it's the first in a long time and now I'm reaching out to actually just update you and everyone that's listening about what has happened. Every way that we thought that this is going to happen, it didn't happen the way it was we planned. And like I said, it's going to happen by itself. And every time we plan, I told peace is gone. It's alive. The planet is alive. We are just part of that life force. And if we, if we try to push in the way we think and try to put the way we think and make that, the way the planet will change, and we will be disappointed. All we have to do is get connected to this wave and flow, get with the flow, and as it comes, you go with the flow, and you see that everything will just happen and work together. And that's why one of the reasons why I'm reaching out to this ultimately is just to let Frank know, and Dan as well, and everyone. And ultimately, if Kim can, if that message can go to Kim, I will be very, very happy that, and as soon as everything comes together, because I'm waiting for the PM, we need to sit together. I said, tell the team, 100%, not 99.9. Everyone in the country have to understand and have to get their sovereignty.
So, Tui, where do you feel, a general time, so you guys are at a point now where you're ready to press forward. So if I were to say to Kim, look, Fiji's a week away, 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away, where are you at?
Sorry, Sam, can you ask the question again? There was just another bit.
Yeah, no problem. So I was saying that, if I were to talk to Kim and be like, look, Fiji's ready, or, Fiji's probably 2 weeks away, they have one last obstacle, put it in terms that give her, so when I talk to her, kind of a tangible feel.
I see. Right now, I think this first competition that we're having right now, looking at it quickly, there's a lot of work because of there's a need for everyone to be present and for everyone to be for us to work together. I will just like I said, just like heads up. When I know that that everything is coming, I will let you know, because I will if I want it now, I will let you know now. And, yes. And so thank you. Yeah.
So the big difference now is that you're all decided to move forward, and you're not waiting for the existing government to fix things anymore.
Yes, the government won't be able to do that because, like I said, they are inside the economic system, and that's the most important thing for them. They won't be able to unite the people and get the sovereignty. They will be looking for cash, but they don't understand that finance and funds mean sovereignty, and because sovereignty has been taken away and reset, no one will be able to create their currency. They won't be able to print their own money because their sovereignty does not exist anymore. And that's one of the most important reasons why I want Fiji to be the example. There's a lot of countries that they might think they can create they'll be surviving on all codes and all country codes that they have preserved. But ultimately, as soon as that runs out, they won't be able to have a new code unless they work with the trust. And so it's a good thing it's a really good thing that this is happening, so that we can actually use it as a way to teach everyone and teach everyone the truth and the reality of how everything was run in the past and how we have to change it now for the new reality.
So, Tui, I mean, and maybe you're not saying this exactly, but what it feels like you're saying, basically, you're looking at really for the funds to move from the trust into any country is going to require that the frequency, the vibration of the people is in harmony with their own sovereignty, or it's just not going to happen.
Indeed, that's the first message I sent out to Kim when there was an email that I asked people to be sent to her because there's a deeper message in that email. I said without any love and unity, there won't be any there won't be new creation. The new creation, and that means the fund and the movement of fund. This is a spiritual and also a physical, but the most important part of it is the essence inside, the sovereign within. Once we have enough people on the land to be sovereign, we'll be responsible to the funds that we receive. But if we don't have that and we get the funds first, that the result. Everyone knows the result. It's never going to end.
That's a great point. Yeah, it's a perpetual state of failure because everyone wants to go back to being a slave. Essentially, they don't even realize it. It's just a reoccurring.
Indeed.
Take the blue pill.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Well, that's exciting, Tui, man. I appreciate that, dude. Thanks for all the work you're doing, man.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, DANK. It's really a blessing to be here. Thank you so much for everyone that everywhere on the planet that you're listening from. Like I said, we are almost there, and I'm very thankful that I'm able to speak about this today, and I know it means a lot to the change and also to everything that is happening. And I know Kim, is almost completing her role as and everyone, everything that they've been working for, reconstructing the whole entire system, and just as soon as that is completed, I know that peace will also be completed, and we'll just join. It's like a piece of puzzle. Just put them together, and it will work the way.
Muted again. Another call came in. My suggestion to everyone: dump WhatsApp. WhatsApp is what does this. WhatsApp is the one that always interrupts your calls and things you're doing. Whenever someone uses WhatsApp.
Yeah, I shut most everything down. I still get interrupted even when I have all my apps shut down, but it's much better. Hardly use WhatsApp at all anymore.
Well, WhatsApp was the technology is the same technology behind Facebook's messaging and calls, right? So it's exactly the same. And there are so many back doors that they put in there so that it doesn't even have to be running for it to actually be able to have access to everything on your phone. You know, I get security reports on it all the time. You know,
Oh yeah.
where yeah, so basically saying don't use it, don't use it. So I keep it on one phone. And to say, okay, that phone over there is the bad phone. And you know which one it is? It's on a Huey. Bowie. You know, the Chinese phone. Yeah. Since they're spying on me anyway, so I figured put it on that phone.
Well, what else, man? I think we're pretty good for now.
I think we're good. You know, it's 1 hour and 11 minutes. Let's end it here. Goodbye, everyone. Bye, Tui.
Thank you very much, Dan. Thank you very much, Tank. Peace. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Take it easy.